The beginning of many myths in the world is a supreme god, who speaks a word and the world is born. But the creation story of China is completely different. Our world began with a deep slumber that lasted for 18,000 years and a sacrifice that was like mutual destruction. Today, we are going to answer the most fundamental question: how did Pangu, the creator god who traded his own death for our survival, open up heaven and earth? And why did his body transform into the world beneath our feet? Next, I will interpret it from 4 aspects: mythology, philosophy, folklore, and the spirit of Pangu. According to the San Wu Li Ji of the Three Kingdoms period, heaven and earth was in a state of chaos like an egg, and Pangu was born in it. 18,000 years later, heaven and earth was created. The clear yang became the sky and the turbid yin became the earth. However, a huge crisis emerged. The newly opened world was actually showing a trend of closing again. What's to be done? Pangu made a decision. He stood between heaven and earth with his head above him and his feet on the ground, using his own body as a pillar to support the sky. And so, another 18,000 years passed. When the sky became extremely high and the earth extremely thick and could no longer be closed, Pangu, he fell down. But the story is far from over here. The most awe-inspiring scene in Chinese mythology has just begun. The body of Pangu did not disappear, but underwent earth-shaking changes. The 5 Cycles Annals states, the first incarnation was Pangu, and on the verge of death it transformed into. His breath turned into wind and clouds. His voice turned into thunder. His left eye turned into the sun and the right eye into the moon. His 4 limbs and 5 bodies transformed into the 4 poles and 5 great mountains. His blood turned into rivers. His tendons and meridians become geography. His muscles have become fields. This is not merely a magnificent imagination, it embodies the most core cosmology of Chinese culture, the unity of heaven and man, and the origin of the self and the object. We are not placed in this world by God. We ourselves are part of God. Every inch of land beneath our feet and every breath of air we breathe originated from Pangu's sacrifice. This means that nature is not the object we need to conquer, but the great body that is connected to us by blood. This idea has profoundly influenced the behavioral logic of the Chinese people. We often say down to earth, what you are stepping on is Pangu's skin. When we say standing tall and upright, we are imitating his original posture. We revere the mountains and rivers because they were once the bones and blood of an ancient god. Pangu is not merely a name in ancient books. He lives in the vast land and people's beliefs of China. In Biang Henan province, there is the famous Pangu mountain. There is a local saying that Pangu created the sky and his blood was used in the Huai River basin, and there is a long tradition of sacrificing to Pangu. In Pangu Cave, Wuxin, Guangxi, the Jung people worship Pangu as the primordial deity who opened up the mountains and rivers and brought culture. Pangu Mountain in Huiqing, Jiangxi Province, is regarded as the place where Pangu lived. The residents at the foot of the mountain have passed down related songs and stories from generation to generation. These Pangu relics scattered all over the country indicate that the worship of Pangu is not just the words of a single family or surname, but a shared memory deeply rooted in the multi-ethnic and integrated pattern of the Chinese nation. Returning to the modern scene, the figures of athletes striving hard on the sports field, scientists tackling difficulties in the laboratory, and firefighters going against the flow in the fire scene overlap with the image of Pangu standing tall and firm. Therefore, what Pangu has left us is not merely a world, but also a spiritual gene. It is the courage to open up order in chaos. It is the responsibility to single-handedly support a critical situation with one's entire life's strength. It is the ultimate dedication of devoting everything one has to the future even if one falls. Every groundbreaking innovation, every breaking the old and establishing the new reform, and every individual who blazes a trail in a desperate situation, all have a modern echo of Pangu's spirit at their core. Each of us can be Pangu in our own little universe. Pangu created the universe, but the world remains vast and desolate. Next, A goddess full of kindness and creativity is about to make her appearance. She not only mended the broken sky, but also created human beings from the soil. In the next episode, and while mending the sky and creating humans, the double creation of the Chinese mother, we will witness the warmest and most touching chapters in Chinese mythology. Tell me in the comments section if there are any legends or place names related to Pangu in your hometown. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.